Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're talking about a pair of earbuds that is directly competing with the AirPods Pro for 1/3 the cost. Now, this is coming from a brand that you probably haven't heard of, and in this video, we're gonna dive into these earbuds and see just how close they actually get to AirPods Pro, considering how drastically cheap they are. And this is a common theme we're seeing throughout the industry. We're seeing more and more of this old technology that was really flagship level 2 years ago is starting to trickle down to cheaper and cheaper earbuds. So AirPods Pro are selling at about $250. You can find them on sale for around $200, but nowhere near the $80 price tag or even $62 price tag, and I'll tell you how to get that sale in a second, of the Earfun Air Pro 2 earbuds. And you can tell that they're kind of supposed to be like the AirPods Pro because they have the word Air and Pro in there. Like, you can tell they're kind of playing off that same concept. And when you look at the earbuds themselves, you'll also notice they follow a really similar geometry, which is honestly a good thing. Okay, so an exciting pair of earbuds, but before we get into the sound quality analysis and the microphone test and the active noise cancellation test, I want to first be transparent with you guys. You know that I would never have a sponsored video and not tell you. I'm always very honest. All of my opinions are always my own, but this video right here is a sponsored video. Now, unlike most sponsored videos where it would technically be a highlight video and I would only talk about the positives and the brand would be allowed to review it, Earfun insisted that I make this as honest as possible. They did not see the video. Like, when you're seeing this video is the first time they're seeing this video, so they weren't allowed to tell me not to include anything, and they encouraged me to cover both pros and cons. So although this is a sponsored video, I'm going to do my best to make this as honest as possible. Now, that's my little disclosure there, just trying to be transparent because I want you guys to trust me, and I really would never want to have a sponsored video and not tell you. Now, with that being said, let's get into this. Start off with the physical tour of these earbuds. Looking at the case, it's slightly larger than the AirPods Pro, so it's very round. It's not necessarily the smallest or most compact case, but it's definitely passable. It's pretty on par with most other cases, and for $80, it's not a huge complaint. The big positive here is that it does actually have wireless charging, and it charges by USB Type-C on the back. Both of those are very positive for something at $80. When you open it up, you can see that it is a relatively flimsy plastic case, but again, that's not really the highlight of this product. The highlight is the earbuds themselves, which look really similar to a black version of the AirPods Pro. They actually have a relatively premium ear tip, so I found that unlike most silicone tips, this one really fits well, it seals well, and because they have a really similar geometry to the AirPods Pro, they sit in your ears very naturally, they feel very light. I went for a 6-mile run with these and they stayed in my ears perfectly. As far as comfort and security goes, I find that these are more than passable. They definitely do a really solid job. Looking at the inside, we see the 2 nodes on the bottom is how they charge in the case, and the battery life on these is actually pretty impressive as well. So you're getting 7 hours per earbud, 34 hours when you include the case, which is definitely on par with the best out in the industry. And when you're looking on the little earbud on the top, you'll see that we have not only a microphone on the inside, but also a proximity sensor. And that means that when you take these earbuds out of the case, not only do they connect really fast, but they can detect when they're in or out of your ear. So when you put them in your ear, they'll automatically start playing. When you take them out, they'll automatically pause. It's great if somebody comes up and starts talking to you, you take it out, it'll pause the music automatically. It's a feature that I love seeing in all earbuds. These are also IPX5 water resistant, which means they should be fine with sweat or rain or any kind of splashing on these earbuds, so long as you don't drop them and submerge them entirely. And so, I mean, overall, the fit, the comfort, the build of these, I think the design is pretty solid. But with that being said, there's really only one option for this. If you want to get these earbuds, you can only get them in black. I wish there were a few more colors, but I guess that's something to keep the price lower. Keeping everything with just one SKU is a good way of doing that. Now, as far as controls go, they do have touchpads on the top of the earbuds, and I'll talk about why they're not customizable later on in the video, but they don't have single tap, which sounds like a bad thing, but I think it's actually a good thing where when you're adjusting these earbuds in your ears, you don't have to worry about single tapping and pausing your music by accident. Instead, in order to pause it, you'll have to have a more deliberate double tap, which I think is a pretty reasonable thing for something that you might be working out with. Triple tap will either skip forward or back a song, and then tapping and holding on one earbud will change between active noise cancellation and transparency mode, while on the other ear it will summon your voice assistant. And the voice assistant, it could be Siri or Google Assistant or whatever you're using, which I think is really great because being that these are not made by Samsung or Apple, these are brand agnostic and they work very well with Samsung phones, any other Android phone, iPhones, or for that matter, any other device that connects to Bluetooth, including smartwatches, smart TVs, tablets, whatever you might be using. They will connect really well with these earbuds. These are using Bluetooth 5.2, so connectivity is very strong. It's really very capable, and on top of that, these do allow for mono mode, so if you take one earbud out while the other's in the case, it doesn't matter which one you take out, you are able to listen to music with just one earbud. Again, that's something that even some of the most expensive earbuds out there don't necessarily have. As far as codecs go, these only have SBC and AAC, so getting into the sound quality analysis of these earbuds, I found that overall they're pretty fun and pretty vibrant. Like for most music, if you're listening to pop or rap or rock, the lift in bass is going to be very fun to listen to, and I think a lot of people would find these to be, a very pleasant listening experience. However, if you have a little bit more of a trained ear, you will notice that they are a little bit too dark and too warm. They definitely have a huge lift in the bass end of these, and so while I feel like they are probably more capable than they sound, the lack of EQ gives you more of a dark, warm feeling when you're listening to these earbuds, and I find that it does sound a little bit bloated. Now, these earbuds don't have a ton of low-level detail, but I had to keep reminding myself when I was listening to them that they only cost between $60 and $80, which is an insane price considering the sound quality that you're actually getting. So I think anybody buying these earbuds is going to be more than impressed with the sound profile you're actually getting out of such a cheap pair of earbuds. Now, with that being said, I know these are originally listed at $80, but part of the sponsorship with this video is Earfun wanted to give you a discount link, so I'll have that down below. If you go through the link and you type in the code, you'll be able to get 20% off, and that brings them down to $64, which again, I think is a really compelling price for that sound quality. All right, so now let's get into a microphone test. And this is what the microphones on the Earfun Air Pro 2 sound like indoors in a studio environment. Something I want to mention is that when you're pairing these earbuds, while they do connect very quickly, it is a little bit tricky to connect to different devices. I found that the best way to do that is actually to disable Bluetooth on whichever device it was connected to before, and then go and actually pair it, because as soon as you open the case and take them out, they'll automatically be in pairing mode unless they're already connected to a different device. All right, so this is a microphone test outside next to a relatively busy road. There's not a lot of wind out here, but if I was outside on the phone call, it would probably sound something like this. These earbuds also have transparency mode, so if you press and hold the left earbud, it'll switch from active noise cancellation, which blocks out a decent amount of sound around you, to normal mode, as they call it, which is essentially passive noise blocking. There's nothing active going on, and that also blocks out a reasonable amount of sound around you because these ear tips do have a pretty nice fit in your ear. And then if you press and hold it again, it'll switch over to transparency mode and allow you to hear things around you. So if somebody comes up and talks to you, you will be aware of that, so you can take them out and have a conversation. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the ANC on these earbuds. First of all, for $64, it was more than impressive that it even existed at all. Having ANC on a small pair of earbuds that had a good design, a good fit, and good sound quality, it was impressive to even see that they had active noise cancellation at all. Typically, a lot of earbuds kind of have to choose what they're going to be good at, especially at a low price. And so having a lot of features and having ANC, I think was already a big step forward. And I think we're seeing that kind of across the industry as more earbuds at a lower price are starting to be capable of having active noise cancellation. Now, with that being said, we didn't expect these to be able to compete with the power and active noise cancellation of the flagships like the AirPods Pro. And sure enough, they're not quite as powerful as those, and they're also not quite as clean of a cut. So when you're looking at the frequencies of what they block, the threshold of what they kind of stop blocking is a little bit lower, meaning that they block low frequencies, as all of them do, but there's kind of like the mids and higher frequencies that definitely get through. The active noise cancellation doesn't quite cover that, but again, for $64, it's impressive that there's anything that can block sounds around you. And so having any ANC does help you to some degree to focus a little bit more on your podcast or your music or whatever you might be listening to. Now, there is one big drawback though. So it's impressive these have ANC. They have good sound quality, they have good fit, good comfort, but the big drawback with these earbuds is that they don't have an app that allows you to customize them. And that's something that I really wish I did see on these earbuds, because if all they did was add an app that would allow you to adjust the EQ, adjust the ANC levels, and things like that, that I think would make these far more functional and really worth even more than they already are. But for the price, again, I know I keep saying that, you really have to keep that in mind. I think anybody looking to spend under $80 on a pair of earbuds, or for that matter, spending $64 on a pair of earbuds, Like, it's really impressive how far earbuds have actually come to be able to deliver this much in a pair of earbuds at this price. But that's my take on the Earfun Air Pro 2. You can leave a comment below and let me know what you think of these earbuds. Are these a pair that you would buy, or would you want to hold out for maybe something different? What do you like about these, and what do you wish they had? As always, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm Mike O'Brien. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.